Welcome to the Q&A.
What up?
How to start these things off? Always, do we bump right into a question? Maybe I introduce you guys first. I think everyone knows you. This is Neenah. Neenah mix edit. No, Neenah mixed it. And Chopz mix edit. No, mixed by Chopz. Yeah. Yes. Thanks for joining me.
Yeah, man.
I love
Thanks
this.
for having us.
I love that we're doing this.
Finally.
In a proper setting. We set up all the lights and the cameras.
Been a long time coming.
Yeah.
It's an upgrade from the ones that we've done together.
Yeah.
It's a little
We
step
were
up.
literally just at the SSL like, oh, hey, we're going live. Yeah, we're live now. Yeah, we got 2 mics. We're going to make a podcast. That podcast never aired. Too bad. But yeah. This you will be able to see on YouTube later on.
Yeah, man.
How are you guys?
I'm great. I'm fantastic. Feeling great. I'm working. I'm in love. I'm in a wonderful space in life. So
Nice.
yeah, I'm great. Yeah.
Awesome. That's
Yeah.
great to hear.
Thank
Juno,
you.
how are you comfortable?
Yeah,
super
he's
comfortable.
relaxing. Yo.
Yeah. He's just gonna chill there. How are you, my man?
Yeah, man.
Been a while.
I'm first of all, I'm grateful to be here. You know, I barely go in front of cameras,
Yeah,
but I had to do this for you guys, and it's fun. You know, it's a long time coming. We've been talking about this,
yeah.
and yeah, I'm grateful, man. I'm blessed. I'm having a great time at work. A lot of stuff to mix, so yeah, man.
How many songs do you mix a day? 15?
Ah.
35?
No,
I mean,
at least 4. At
Please.
least 4 a day.
Insane.
At least 4 a day.
Yeah, I mean on a busy week, it can be like that. Especially
That's
if you get a
crazy,
lot
man.
of like
And how long
albums.
do you do 8-hour days or do you like
Man, I
16
wish
hour days.
I wish 8 hours. It's 10 hours, man, at least.
man?
Wow.
Yeah. But I take a lot of vacations. I take a lot of vacations because
A lot of jet skis.
yeah. Yeah.
There's going to be a
man.
lot of inside jokes.
There needs to be a balance, But yeah, man, I'm grateful. It's busy, and
That's great, man.
it's awesome to be able to do all of this,
Yeah, man.
So yeah, man.
Yeah, doing great.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Awesome.
Thanks. And how about you, my friend? TikTok superstar.
Wow. Yeah, that took a flight last week. It's crazy. You've been working on videos for a year ago with my iPhone and some shitty lighting, and then you build it up and build it up and build it up, and it starts growing, and then suddenly it skyrockets on TikTok, and that was a crazy feeling.
Yeah, it's
That was
beautiful.
crazy.
It's
So
sick, man.
And it's really nice to just hear all the comments from everyone that
Yeah.
says, yo, you helped me out so much. And
That's sick, man. I'm gonna be honest with you. You know how many times it helped me too. I'm like, let me go check what Thomas said about this real quick.
Yeah, and it's
It's
inspiring.
very helpful, man. It's
Yeah.
good,
Inspiring. You help people come up with new ideas, new ways to look at things, and you're so creative as well, and you make it so fun to talk about engineering in general. Is generally not a very fun topic, and then you make it so fun. So that's awesome.
thanks.
Yeah.
That's good, man.
Yeah, because as an engineer, you always feel like you're the boogeyman, and you always have to tell people what not to do.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like everyone is having fun making music, and you are
Yeah,
there.
that sounds a bit too punchy,
No,
bro.
no,
You can
no,
turn.
Can you put the
it's too
mic
much.
back to where I put it?
Yeah.
Don't go too far into the mic because
Yeah.
proximity effect and
Yeah.
But it's fun to just make sketches and do fun stuff. So
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
I love
awesome.
that. I want to start off with some questions I've got for you guys.
Ooh.
I'm going to start with you.
Serious. It's getting serious.
I'm really curious, and I know partly, but I think not everyone knows, but how you came up and how did you get to the point where you are?
Well, I'm gonna try to keep it short because it's a very long story. But yeah, actually, let me put it this way. my love for music was always there, you know. Growing up in a family, pretty musical family, and going to church every Sunday, that's my basic. That's always been my basic. But I never took it really serious, you know. I was more into sports. I was playing, like the Americans say, soccer. I played at a pretty high level, and while I was playing, I had a very bad injury, and that's when I got back into like a lot of singing at church and music and stuff. And I was always wondering. I remember recording this album for my mom. Actually, mom sings, so we had to record this album for the church, and I was always wondering what's actually happening with my voice. How come when I sing or speak right now, it sounds totally like creamy, very. I didn't know how to put it into words, but like you hear the reverb and stuff like that. I was like, what's really happening? And I was really curious about it, you know. So basically, out of curiosity, I got into engineering. And
you didn't get into you got into music first, but did you get into recording yourself and then
no, I
figuring
actually
out the engineering, or was it
no? It was literally curiosity. I started music from 7 years. I did piano lessons and stuff. I had to, because everybody was musical in the family, and you had to do at least 2 instruments. Growing up in my parents' house, you know, it was very strict with.
I love that.
Yeah, so I'm grateful for that, you know. But no, it was literally curiosity that got me into engineering, and I just wanted to know what's happening with the voice. And it was also the thing, I had to wait very long from the engineer. I remember we had to wait at least 6 months for the first mix. And I was like getting really impatient, and I wanted to know, like, you know, I want to know the process, what's behind the scenes and all that. So that got me. I remember I was at my uncle's in Arizona on vacation there, and I wanted to check the schools, because I actually never wanted to come to the Netherlands, but love and school brought me here. So but I was looking for schools in the States, but it was so freaking pricey. Yeah. And the thing is, I don't have an American passport, so you literally have to live. I literally had to live from my mom's. They'll have to send allowance and stuff, because you can't work while on a student visa. Right. So my only option was then Netherlands, and that's where I got into SAE. In Amsterdam. And yeah, man, that's where it all started. Really, really, for me, that's where it all started. And funny thing is, I had internship here before. It was Red Bull Studio. This is where I met most of let me put it this way, the clients that really pushed me into the scene. Yeah. This is where it all started for me. In my opinion, it really started here.
And does that feel like you went from, okay, I'm at school, and then you went like, boom.
Yeah, I don't want to trash talk the school. God bless SAE Amsterdam.
They're watching. They're watching.
I'm gonna be honest. I'll be honest. God bless you guys. Thanks for all you guys taught me. But you know, the real deal. Yeah, you always learn while actually working. You know, and that's what got me really, really. To a certain level in this studio, you know, Red Bull Studio, because the pressure was freaking high, bro. Yep. It was so high. I mean, we had to do this, run this, and I remember those. Yeah, I remember first time I saw like big artists. It was Lil Kleine was here, and the Opposites, and back in the days, those were the guys, you know. And you had other American artists that also came here for a big band. We had to the grand piano here, and man, that was at least 40 channels. Yeah. And that was crazy, man. I was sweating. But that
You
really
made
made
it.
that really
Now you're
made
here.
me that was the basic.
So that were also mostly recording sessions because a lot of
Yeah,
people
there
know
was a
you
no mixing.
as-
There was a no mixing
Yeah.
session, but that really those were that was for me the thing. I used those recording sessions to connect with the artist. Yo,
Right.
let me mix your.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah,
yo,
yeah.
I was hustling. I was literally hustling in the live room.
Take
like,
notes.
Yeah, yeah.
Right here.
I was literally
Yeah.
hustling. Yo, I love the sound, man. You know, use my card. Maybe you can just $50.
That's the thing. Like
Yeah.
working in a studio, it's like you see all the gear behind me everywhere. It's 10% gear, and the
Yeah.
rest is just knowing how to
Yeah,
talk to
man.
people, how to work with people, how to make people
Definitely.
comfortable, how to be the fly in the wall, but not be the shy guy
Yeah.
Be
in the
passive,
corner and
yeah.
be too passive, and just be someone
you.
you
Yeah,
would want to
yeah.
work with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you.
And there's a lot of people that think, oh, I need to learn all the gear. And yes, that's step one. And then there's 10 more steps to get where you want to be as an engineer in a
That's
studio.
true, man.
So,
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
I remember. Once again, I don't want to talk bad about SAA, but it was overwhelming coming from there, coming to here,
Yeah.
seeing all those gears that I've never seen. I've only seen them on YouTube or
Yeah.
Pensado's place, you know. I've never seen a distressor. I've never seen an 1176 before I came to the studio. So
Right.
it was like I literally wanted to use everything, you know. But how you say that? In time,
Yeah.
you learn, you know, to control yourself and learn that that's way more than just all those gears, like you said, man.
Exactly.
It's 10% gears, bro.
Yeah.
It's just 10% gears,
Yeah.
and you
How's
can
that
do
for you?
without.
Right.
You know.
How was that for you?
Coming up, yeah. Well, we have SAE in common, actually,
Yeah.
the School of Audio
All
Engineering.
3 of us do.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
right.
SAA, we love you, man.
We love you. So I went to SAE in 2005. Actually, I was a little bit early, I think.
Yeah, you were the first one.
Yeah.
Because you were...
I finished 2012,
Ooh.
so I did 2 years. Yeah.
Yeah, I barely knew what audio engineering was, actually. So I started off actually way before I really understood what it was. I just knew that I really wanted to do something with sonics, with sound. And actually, we have that curiosity and that love for music in common as well. And I'm sure with you as well. Because that's where I started out as well, you know, singing, producing my own beats, making my own songs, and then recording myself on a very shitty microphone. And it sounded so crappy. And I was thinking, like, how can I make this sound like the music that I love?
Yeah.
What do they do that makes it sound good like that? And I just kind of started experimenting with stuff like EQ and reverb and stuff like that. And really just started experimenting and just doing it more often. And that's how I kind of learned along the way. And that's when I was like, okay, I want to really learn how to do this. Then I got to SAE Amsterdam, and there was only like 2 options back at the time. In that time, there was SAE and there was a school in Utrecht. So, so that was it. So, I learned a really, really good foundation of all of the technical stuff, and Pro Tools. Obviously, learned how to work with Pro Tools, record, and got to work with the SSL 4K desk a little bit. So that was
flow.
yeah.
We had to know that.
Yeah.
Signal flow test.
I got an
Barely.
80 on my SSL
Barely
exam. Can you
passed.
believe that?
That was
And
sweaty.
80 is that's not good.
Yeah, yeah.
Everyone gets a 95, 96. And the teacher was like, Thomas, you live in this studio. How do you not know this? I know you know this. How did you just forget for this exam? It was like, I'm going to give you an 80, but I know you can do this.
My worst was media exam. Oh man,
wow.
that one
I
was,
hated MIDI.
Oh man,
That was awful.
But
I did not
MIDI
understand
in general
MIDI.
was awful.
yeah, man.
I hate it.
That was a whole
Yeah.
different language on its own.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's where I started out, and basically just made more and more music, and then got to work with artists who were also upcoming, and I kind of did a little bit of the same that you did, only a smaller scale because I wasn't working in a studio like this one. I was doing a lot of freelancing gigs, and I was also performing. I was still singing and performing my songs and stuff, and that's where you meet people who are also musicians who want to record something, and that person wants to record their rap song and they need a beat, so I make a beat and record them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, and I just did a lot of that for years and years and years. Yeah, it just
I
never
think that's
stopped.
really interesting about the three of us. Like, we all came from the same school, but we ended up in different places.
Yeah.
In the same place today.
In the
though.
same place today.
Sick.
But you're really in the box.
Yes.
You're really a hybrid. I'm also a hybrid, but a lot of out of the box. I've got a console.
Yeah.
And that's really different. And
I got a question. Did you start by producing? Like, that was your...
Producing and writing and singing, so both at the same time, because I was writing my own songs and I didn't have any music for them, so I just made my own beats. Yeah, if you can call them beats. I mean, of course
Logic?
FL, Fruity Loops.
Fruity
yeah,
Loops.
and I recorded myself in Cool Edit Pro.
hey, another thing we got in common, Fruity Loops
Which is
and Cool Edit Pro.
Cool Edit Pro is the first version of Adobe Audition, for those of you that don't know. And my version of FL was 3.5.6. And we're at like version 20 something now, so that's
way back.
I feel old.
No, you're a legend. You're a legend in my book then.
All of us.
Wow.
Easy. Oh.
Would you want to share a little bit about you coming out? Because
I was going to ask that. Yeah, I want to know yours.
So I started as a rapper and a producer.
Back in the
day. Well, I knew I shouldn't have shared this.
A rapper?
Yeah.
Wow.
What
was your rap name?
It's not we're on the air, man.
Tom.
No, and I actually started with this Logitech mic, USB mic, and me and my friends, when we were 13, 14, were sitting on the floor with the three of us, like the beat coming out of the speaker of the PC, and then rapping there. We were watching 8 Mile and stuff. And I was so crazy about Eminem, and then I started making my own beats and doing all of that, and then I started studying production, and then I actually got teachers that got me into mixing and recording, and I was really into the recording side. I really wanted to record everything, and I got a shitload of gear, and I set up my studio in my mom's attic in my bedroom with a ton of gear, and I was like, all right, I've got the best studio ever. Clients are coming in. I know everything because I saw all the YouTube videos everywhere, and let's go, man. I'm the best mixer. I'm the best recording engineer. Nobody came. The first 2 years of running a business, nobody was there.
Wow.
I made 200 euros in the first year, 300 in the second year. And then I was like, okay, what's not working here? Because we're working hard, we're checking everything, we're doing everything. But I wasn't doing any networking, or I wasn't being amongst the people, the artists.
Yeah.
So I thought, okay, then I'm going to do a school so I actually really know what I'm doing and can build from there. And then I went to SAE, and there I actually took the same path as you with the old Red Bull studio.
Yeah.
I started working here. That was just working for free, and we got a chance to, all the alumni could apply to a spot here at the studio, and you could work here to get experience and work with artists and build from there. And then they decided to rebuild the studio, and they asked me to be the head engineer because I stood out amongst all the alumni from SAE. And that was 6 years ago.
Nice.
Then I got the keys to this studio, and I made it my own.
Wow.
And fast forward, it's not Red Bull Studios anymore. So now it's the Atlantis Studio it's a commercial studio, so I need to actually, I'm actually studio manager as well, so I need to actually, I'm less engineering now, especially because I'm more doing
You're a TikTok star.
my TikTok shit. Yeah. But I also need to figure out how to rent out this space and get clients in and network on another level with new people that I've never considered working before in mixing or recording. I just want to get them in and run the studio, and that's really interesting because a studio like this nowadays, it's amazing, but there's like 10 in the entire country.
Yeah.
There's like
It's
everyone
not
does
much,
everything on their laptop and on their Scarlett. You know, and it's needed to get to a certain level of quality, but it's not, it doesn't feel necessary to everyone. And I think that is also partly why I decided last year to make videos about why I think it's important and what the difference is between in the box and out the box, and cheap gear and expensive gear, and that you can use everything, but as long as you know what every piece does.
Man.
And that is really important, and not just going for something you saw on someone else's profile and you saw someone in the studio with that interface or that mic and thinking, okay, he uses that, so that is the best. That is what I need.
Right.
That is how I got here to this
point
setting.
Yeah.
Wow. Sick man.
Yeah. What are things you are most proud of in your careers? Do you have things that you're like,
wow,
oof,
that's a great question.
that artist I worked with, or that session, or that move I made? Wow. It could also be stuff you didn't do that allowed you to.
I mean, I'm proud of a lot.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty grateful for everything I have,
Yeah.
But there's definitely a couple. Let me think that proud moments for me are every time a client like gets super excited, like sometimes even emotional, from literally you compressing a vocal, adding reverb, just putting your love into the song,
bringing out the emotion.
Those moments are for me like the highlights of my career. I mean, great, I have a lot of awards and all of that, but
do they fit in your studios?
No, not anymore. Not anymore. It's
every time I see you post that you get a new plaque, I'm like, okay.
Yeah, it's time for a new studio, man.
Nobody can sit on the couch anymore in your studio, but
it's just plaques stacked.
No, but I'm grateful for that. But those moments that clients get back at you, like screaming through a voice note, like, "Wow, bro, what did you do with the mix? Oh my God, bro, this is so sick, man. How you made that drum knock? How you made my vocals sound, man. Thank you. This is so amazing." Those are the moments for me that I appreciate the most, Those moments, like, give me, every time I'm tired or I'm like, I feel like, oh man, this is draining. Those moments give me like goosebumps and like, I know what I'm doing. I know why I'm doing it, and
rewarding.
Yeah, man, it's for me, those are the most moments I'm most proud of, And I think you guys as well, That's
I have to agree. Yeah,
that's nothing compared to that,
Yeah, that's what you do it for in the end. Is what mix engineers do actually is bringing out the emotion of the song that the artist and the producer wanted the song to sound like or feel like. And we have to do it in such a way, or we end up doing it in such a way that you can't really put your finger on why it is that it makes you emotional.
Exactly.
And that's the art of mixing. That's what I love about it as well. And I have to agree with what you're saying about the personal connections with these artists that you and producers that you get to work with that's really the most important thing to me. Like if there's just no feel between me and a client, then I feel like I'm just kind of like a robot or something, just kind of doing a job, and that's not what I'm doing this for. I'm really doing this for the personal connections. And when you're asking like, what are you most proud of? Like, I know that people want to hear like a list of all these huge accomplishments, and that's all great. But what I'm most proud of is that, like, just a couple weeks ago, I celebrated registering my business for 5 years. So 5 years ago.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And so actually, I'm still living off of doing exactly what I love, and I get to do it every single day, and I get to experience this really amazing feeling, and it's very fulfilling to me that I can do this for a living every single day. And that's my greatest accomplishment, I have to say. Like it's not like any numbers or awards or anything like that.
They're nice.
Yeah,
they're
nice.
great. They're
cool.
fantastic.
Cool.
Yeah, but
you know,
it's not what keeps you going.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
I mean, that is a momentary fulfillment. Like
It's literally.
It's
like
just
that.
a high, a temporary high, I guess, and it's a nice
temporary high.
and then it's like, oh yeah, we won. Okay, but what else? You know. But that feeling you get of a client who's like, oh my God, you did exactly what I wanted.
You go days with that feeling, like,
Days.
oh my, you're gonna mix the next song.
I even
who's
take
not
screenshots.
Me too.
And
I have them in a special folder. Like literally, I have a folder with like those feedbacks.
Messages.
Yeah, like every time you feel bad or something, go listen to those feedbacks.
Exactly.
It literally cheers you up. Like every time you feel like, because it's not always that you have like clients that literally appreciate you or whatever. You have sometimes that they are being very, how do you say that, zakelijk.
Very business-like and
very
distant.
business-minded. You're here for the limiter. Thank you, sir. And sometimes you feel like, man, there's more to that. Just
it's music.
Adding compressor and limiter to it. I'm literally putting my time into it and my love, my passion, and also adding my part of the vision to your vision.
Exactly.
And whenever it feels like that, man, go back to that folder and check that. You get excited because I literally use those moments to keep on working on other people's stuff.
You gotta be your own cheerleader because
man.
you're in that room alone. And you're just working on this stuff all day long alone. And so
that's
like
true.
No one's really giving you feedback like, hey, that sounds great or something like that.
No. And especially when you send the mix out and you don't get the feedback you want to hear, or when you do something cool with the delay, they didn't even acknowledge that.
Right.
You mix your ass up, you work an hour on a reverb throw, and you're like, yeah, cool. Can we go back to like the always?
And then you gotta just take that hit. You gotta just take that hit,
like you said, it's definitely you gotta be your own cheerleader. Like you're good, man.
Absolutely.
Are there any questions from the Q&A, from the live?
Oh.
Clark Skent asks, what's the dog's name?
The dog's name is Juno, named after the Juno 60.
Juno.
Because I had a Juno 60 to my left in the control room. And then before I had a dog, and then I decided no matter what dog it's going to be, if it's going to be a boy or a girl, it's going to be Juno. It's going to be called Juno. So there he is, Juno, the studio dog. I'm excited for this one.
Uh-oh.
What's the worst advice you've ever gotten?
Wow.
Starting with you.
I have a recent one, and it wasn't directly given to me. It was directly given to okay, maybe I shouldn't name who it was. Just someone that I used to work with.
Name it.
And they told me that there was a teacher who had told them to always put all the auxiliary sends in pre-fader when mixing. And I thought that was very...
Yeah, that's very weird.
very weird and very interesting. I was like, why? And then they said, like, they wouldn't
That's what-
say.
And then they just
And they
do
couldn't, yeah. And then,
Yeah.
of course, because I was looking at this session and I was like, why is this pre-fader?
it. Yeah.
And they couldn't tell me because the person who told them to do it didn't have time to explain why. Just do it, always pre-fader. And I was like,
Wow.
Is there in mixing? I never use pre-fader. I know
No.
some people do it for
I do. Some
parallel
yeah.
Yeah.
stuff because you need the parallel
Yeah.
compression to be the same. But
Yeah.
I like to when I ride my drums up that the parallel compression
I do it
goes
literally
in
for
further,
parallel.
and I
I do the parallel and post.
yeah.
I
No, I
keep it a
didn't.
Yeah.
post fader. Yeah, I do.
Because I'm also not going to do anything crazy with those levels.
Mm-mm.
And otherwise I'll just adjust the send.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's also possible.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Maybe I should.
But
do that.
I know at SAE they told me to put those in pre.
Well, I just remember that the worst advice part was that they couldn't explain why it had to be
Mix it,
pre-fader. And I was like, okay, well, if someone tells you to do something, the very
Yeah.
least they can do is just explain to you why you should do it.
I think that's really good advice.
Yeah, so the worst advice
If
would
you're
be
doing something, know that you need
understand
to
why.
understand why you're
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, we went from worst advice to best advice.
You're welcome.
Man, that's a good question.
Yeah.
Well, for
Wow.
myself, it was when you're EQing a vocal, look at the spectrum analyzer and look for the loudest parts and dip those.
That's
Wow.
gonna be a no from me, dog.
What?
Can you
So
repeat
I'm
that for the-
purely visually supposed
Wow.
to EQ?
No.
No,
No.
because maybe my 800 hertz is a lot. Maybe I like that in that microphone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but that was the trick to get it louder.
What?
Because those were the loudest frequencies. So if you dip those down, you could get the level up even more.
Yeah.
That
no.
was the theory behind it. I was
No.
like, no.
Remember, it's the
make it
worst
sound
advice.
good. What?
Just remember, this is the worst advice.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
just make
Then I'm
sure.
getting quoted on this as
This
like
is not
advice
actually.
from Thomas.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Imagine.
I can't think of any right now.
You
At the
never
moment.
had bad advice?
I'm pretty sure I did, but I don't think I used it. Maybe that's the reason I can't think
That's
of
a
any
good
right
one.
now.
When you get advice from anyone, just understand who is telling you
I was
First
just
of
gonna,
all,
yeah, I was
and
just-
understand why they are giving you this advice. And, if they explain something in a way that doesn't resonate kind of with like how you like to do things, then just, okay, of course, try it, but don't take it as truth.
Yeah.
I tend to have like people around me that I consider better than me, and in my opinion, most of the time you get a pretty good advice.
Mm.
So maybe this, I don't know. Of course, you'll always hear bad advice in your life
Yeah.
span, but
But it's a good thing that you block it.
yeah,
Yeah.
man,
That you didn't remember and that you're like,
Yeah,
okay, that's
man.
bad advice.
Yeah.
Sure.
I try to
Yeah.
keep
You
people
just
that
Threw it out the window.
Yeah,
That's
man.
good. That's great advice.
Okay, so
Yeah,
I wanna do a fun
This is
dilemma with you guys.
fun. Dilemma.
Yeah. Mixing with only compression or only EQ?
EQ.
I'm a compression dude, man.
Really?
Really?
Yeah. Man, I just
But I think
Explain.
your compressors are working
yeah,
hard.
Yeah. I love compression, man.
Do you ever
I
give
have
them time
I have
off,
more
or-
compression than EQ. I have more compression than EQ.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
And I literally also had a producer in my studio last time. He was asking me all this question. What did you do to do this? What did you do to do this? And I'm always guy that I don't mind showing you the whole thing so you can see. He was very flabbergasted that I use like multiple compression. Most of the times when you get a session or you get the demo, you hear that they literally let one work hard,
Yeah.
work
Yep.
very hard. One compressor do
Yeah.
the whole thing,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And I told him like you can have compression in series, one for color, one can literally be a EQ.
Yeah.
A compressor can
Yeah.
be an EQ,
Yeah.
you know.
That's true.
So that's how I see it, and that's why I have so much I don't know, I would say love, passion for compressor, man.
Mm-hmm.
I have more compression in my compressors in my studio than EQ,
I
because
think that's also like compressors really have that character and that tone and that mystique about them that gives certain
yeah,
vibes and certain
True.
that makes
Yeah.
certain sounds. And if you have an EQ, you have a really good tube EQ,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
a massive passive, or you have a really good solid state EQ, or
Mm.
you have a really good, it's really good, but
Yeah.
it's nobody really said, oh, that EQ was done on that record.
Exactly, exactly.
Except for maybe the pool tech or
Yeah.
something.
yeah, yeah.
But compressors is far more
Yeah,
some
color-wise,
mysterious
yeah.
thing like,
Mhm.
okay, they use this compressor, so that's where
I
that
feel
sound
like it
comes
does
from.
Yeah.
it does more in the how you call it, in the total aspect of a song
Yeah.
than an EQ. EQ are you
Yeah.
most of the time you are taking away stuff
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and then adding.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
most of the
Yeah.
time you're taking away, and with a good EQ, when you take stuff away, it sounds very nice.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know. But I don't know. I just use compressor as a tone, and for example, my Neve, the 33609,
Yeah.
it's on my drum bus, but it barely moves. But when I bypass that,
Yeah.
I get so sad. It's gone. It's gone. The sauce is gone.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
The same goes for my distressor.
Mm.
You know, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and there are times where I let it work a bit harder, but I don't know. I can't without compressor, man.
Yeah.
That's my thing. Give me all the compressor and take all my EQs.
Yeah.
Because how's your setup? Do you have everything set in a template? And
Yeah.
you load up the files and you just
I mean,
have everything.
I
like,
have
set
pretty-
generally.
Yeah,
Because if you're
yeah.
doing 4 mixes a day, I feel like
Yeah. I have
that
a
would be-
pretty much template. I remember
Mm-hmm.
watching this Chris Lord
LG.
video, and
Didn't
he
we?
has this massive studio with all these gears.
Yeah.
And I remember he was answering a question saying, I don't change my settings.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you have the presets on your 1176 waves or UAD, I have that. If the vocal doesn't fit, I go to the next one.
Yeah.
If it doesn't fit that one, I go to the next one. Because this setting worked for me. And
Yeah.
that doesn't mean I can't adjust it for a song or whatever. Just like your master box compressor, you adjust it for the song or for the BPM of that
Yeah.
song, whatever. But it's pretty much set, and that's how my setup is. And I really got that advice or got
Yeah.
that from him. Like, hey, maybe because I remember in my previous studio, I did a lot of printing and a lot of I was
Patching.
tweaking
Exactly.
and tweaking and
Yeah.
changing stuff.
Yeah.
And I remember watching this videos. This guy was saying literally, one of the biggest challenge for an engineer is to be decisive.
Yeah.
I'm going for this. This is the sound. Go for it. You know, you're happy with it. Go with it.
But don't you feel that takes a bit of the creativity out? Because that what you described, like, I need to do that every time. I need to do, if I'm doing a mix, I'm coming in here and I'm like, okay, what needs to go on where? What
Yeah, it
works
depends
for
on
what,
how-
and then I need to actually patch it in,
Yeah.
set everything, find new settings, and those.
Yeah. I can't control my excitement. You can probably. I can't. I want to try this. Okay, maybe this. I will end up with 10 different prints for the vocals.
Yeah, then you
just
can't do
because
4 mixes a day.
Yeah, you know, because you have too much at your disposal.
Yeah.
You just want to do this, you don't want to do that. And you'll end up doing only one song,
Yeah.
you know, and at a certain time you mix more songs a day, more songs a week. You got to be more decisive, you got to move. and that really helped me create my own sound.
Yeah.
You know, because that helped me to you know, seek my own sound instead of just trying this. Then okay, you can, here's 10 mixed versions, choose one.
Mm-hmm.
You know? Especially at this pace, you're not gonna make it.
No.
You gotta be very decisive, otherwise you can't mix the next song.
Yeah, but I guess if you have like a certain workflow,
Yeah, that's what
then you have like your settings basically pretty much already where you want them when you start off, right? Like your gain staging,
Exactly.
and your routing. So
Gain staging.
Gain staging.
I must say,
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. Gain staging, I learned a lot from you too.
oh,
Automation and gain staging. Those are two things I really hated
Thank
so
you.
much. Yeah, no, I'm gonna be really honest. I remember talking to you, telling you I hate automation. You tell me, yeah, but it's really important to do because
Yeah.
you will give the song, you
Yeah,
know.
you gotta eat your
It's
veggies,
important.
man.
You can never you never stop learning. You know. That's but it's important. I'm happy you guys gave me those great advice. You know, gain staging is also one of those things that I always have to like remember, do that before.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know.
You need to get it into your system, and then
And yeah,
Yeah.
it's like, okay,
yeah, exactly.
I do this
in your
when I
system,
open
yeah.
my session and I load in the stems, and then
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh yeah, sorry, multi-tracks, guys. I know. I'm seeing the comments. I'm calling it
How
multi-tracks
dare you
now.
say stems?
Yeah, I see stems and I see 10 comments like they're not stems, they're multi-tracks. I don't care. Okay, they're stems to me.
Yeah. No.
I have to say, I'm gonna go with EQ.
EQ.
Yeah. I have to say, like, I understand the whole compression thing. I completely understand it. And a mix without compression is going to be super boring. But I can't imagine doing a mix without filtering, low cut, high cut, the low mids, getting them out of the way, getting that 1K area out of the way of the lead vocal and the instruments with the vocal,
But to me, you are super, like, precise, sitting there behind you.
Yeah, she's
Like,
really
you're set up
precise.
like, oh, I'm going to EQ this and that.
I feel very seen right
7.2.
now. Thank you.
7.2.
You're there in your studio, like, okay, nobody's seeing me. I'm going to EQ now.
That Fat
Oh,
Filter
that's
Pro
automate now.
Q3 is
I
life.
can't live without the Pro Q3.
And the
I mean,
side
that does
chaining,
everything.
the
Yeah.
side chaining option with the dynamic EQ on the Pro Q3, just the external side chaining.
Mhm.
If I can't use that, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Maybe track
Desert
spacer.
Island
So
plugin, man.
compression or only EQ, I'm gonna go with EQ.
Yeah, me too. I'm actually doing an album now where we're inspired by Blonde by Frank Ocean.
Mm-hmm.
And Frank Ocean didn't want to use compression on his vocal.
Wow.
So he used tape compression and clip gaining, fader writing to get
Right.
that vocal
Balance.
at that level. So I'm
Right.
actually trying that now. It's super hard
Mm.
because I'm just putting on Fairchilds and 1176s, not for the compression, but for
The
that
tone.
tone.
Yeah.
For the tone.
So I'm using compressors, but I'm not using them to compress.
Hmm.
And
That's
it's
interesting.
super interesting. So I also want to do at the end of the when all the mixes are done, I want to actually get a tape machine in and run all the
I
vocal
really
tracks
miss
through tape
those
and
things, man.
get that tape compression going and that tape saturation and get
Yeah.
that sound, that actual sound in
That's
there.
great.
So that might actually
So
be
you guys
my-
are gonna do the whole album without compression.
I'm going to. I actually did the first song already with compression, so I don't know what I'm going to do about that one if I'm going to go back. But there are 2 songs I now did without compression on the vocal, and yeah, it felt really scary, but it's super cool. I really like taking my time with projects and
Yeah.
experimenting with
mix.
mixes and.
Mm-hmm.
I love that I have this space with all that gear and all that stuff so I can experiment and that I'm making videos about that. So
Yeah.
I need
Yeah.
to trigger myself to make something. I'm thinking of a video idea and then I'm like, oh, maybe
Yeah.
we can reamp a snare through a snare
Yeah.
with a
Uh-huh.
speaker. And then
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
actually going try that because I'm making a video about it, and then I'm spending more time on that, and then I'm going further, and then I really love that. Are there any questions from the live?
Which 3 artists are on your bucket list to work with?
Whew. Let's. You want to do one each, or 3 each?
I'll do one each.
Whew.
I don't know if I can do 3 on the spot.
For me,
Alright.
since this week, Doja Cat. She's my spirit animal this week.
that was
hit,
funny.
I hit 10K followers this week on TikTok, and I was so happy, like that momentary high we were talking about. And I just played her song. I was still drunk from the night before because I already celebrated. And I was walking through the park with Juno, and I was like, oh yeah, this is the shit. This is the shit. Yeah, I would love to have her in the studio.
Doja Cat.
Just for the vibe.
Yeah, she's
Honestly.
funny.
Yeah.
So which one? Doja and
No, that's the only one. I
Oh.
said.
Yeah, okay, so we'll do one each.
Yeah,
So
let's do one each.
for me, it's going to be Alicia Keys.
Oof.
Yeah,
good
she has
choice.
been an inspiration ever since before I was even starting with making my own music. And
Yeah.
still to this day, a huge inspiration for me. She does everything. Like, she's hands-on with the whole process of music making, and she has a female engineer.
Yeah.
And
Hey.
so, yeah.
I love that. I
Yeah.
saw her on Masterclass.
So did I. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was very inspiring. So
Yeah, it was
Alicia
super cool
for
to
me. Yeah. What about you?
see. He's worked with everyone already, so
No, man. No, most definitely. My list is very long, but
gotta cherry pick.
yeah, man.
Gotta pick the
Wow.
right one.
Right now,
Drum roll.
I would love to sit in a room with Kanye West right now.
Yeah?
Yes. Because I feel like he's gonna trigger my creativity level
Gonna
on
trigger
a
your eardrums.
whole another level.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
I hope you got some good speakers then, because
Right.
Yeah.
he tends
I'll
to
blow
probably
up use
speakers.
earplugs. I'll probably use earplugs, but I feel like I'll learn a lot. Like,
Oh man, earplugs.
Yeah.
I had a session with Wu-Tang Clan here, and Riza wanted to see how loud my speakers could go. And I was like turning up the Everset and looking at him, and he was like, "This is not the loudest." I was like, "Okay, let's turn it up." No. They can go
no
loud.
way. They
And
go
it was loud.
They go
And
loud over there.
I was
man.
like, I really don't want to do this.
Like
I
pain
looked at him.
threshold.
Louder, yeah, okay. Louder, okay. I was there like,
they go loud, bro. They go loud.
is
over
it?
there.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
Is it disrespectful to just put in your earplugs then, or are you allowed to?
man.
I
saw the. Did
I
you
felt it was disrespectful. I
wouldn't.
really
Did you see
didn't
the-
want to
the-
sit there with a
the-
headphone or anything.
the
So.
Kanye West documentary.
Yeah,
I saw one of the shots. The engineer had a earplug in.
yeah.
I mean,
if
your
you're doing-
safety comes first,
Yeah,
man.
There's
that's
this-
your money. Your
Yeah,
ears
there's
are your
this
money.
photo of Kanye actually surfing on an SSL. So he has one foot on the faders and he has one foot on
no
the meter
way.
bridge. And he's like there, and that photo was taken, and the engineer that was at that session actually wrote next to that photo, like, this was 10 seconds before the speakers blew up out of the wall. It was at 120 dB minimum, and it was crazy how loud it
Wow.
was. And actually the system was it just gave up. It couldn't take it anymore.
Unbelievable. 120 dB.
But that's really, doing sessions with artists, I really noticed that difference between Dutch artists and
American.
even European artists and American artists.
American artists, they
need to
go loud. Yeah,
They want the
loud.
Augsburger system
Yeah,
on
bro.
max.
Those are my dream speakers, man. I really
Yeah, I
want
know.
those. Yeah, man. Those are.
You're gonna get them soon.
Yeah, man.
I mean,
Hopefully, man.
gotta do it, man. But you gotta,
Yeah.
gotta invest.
Yeah, man. Those are not cheap.
Whoa.
Yeah, man.
So, talking about cheap gear, What's the cheapest gear you've got that you actually love? I can go first.
Yeah, go first.
With a microphone. It's this guy. Honestly, this is my new favorite piece of gear. I bought this on Marktplaats for 20 euros. I made it and I've had so much fun with it ever since. Which is partly also the reason why I put it up here.
Yeah.
Because I love this
It's
thing.
really awesome.
I've got crazy gear over there, but this is really, I made this.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's your creation.
It's my creation.
It's cool.
And
yeah.
It's,
Yeah.
yeah, I love it. And everyone loves it.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing on TikTok, so I love that.
Yeah, that was a really cool one. I can't say that I can top anything like this, but you're asking about cheap gear. I have to really think about this, but I think it might be my Biodynamic DT990s.
Oh, those
My
cheap.
headphones. They're $120.
It's the cheapest she's got.
Oh.
She doesn't do any cheaper than 120.
No, I was like,
Come on, what did you expect?
I mean, cheap gear as a mix engineer. I'm not a recording engineer, so I don't have cool stuff like this lying around. So in my chain of what I work with, I have to say my Biodynamics headphones, because I'm just so used to them, and I've been working on them for so long. I know exactly what I want to hear from them.
I love them.
Yeah, they're fantastic. So, yeah, that's the best I can do.
I think they're my
For him, massive
distressors.
passive.
No, my distressors.
Yeah.
Were those cheap
Cheap
distressors? And he's clowning me.
No, they're not cheap at all, man. I can't think of
Then
anything.
just say your mic cable.
Just
or
say you're
something, but-
barefoots, man.
No, man. Yeah, actually, my mic cables are the cheapest ones in the room, man.
The headphone splitter is the cheapest.
Yeah. My aux cable. Yeah.
Wow.
No,
Distressors. Okay. All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, if that's your cheapest gear, I'm really expensive. I'm really curious what your most expensive gear.
My
is,
barefoots,
and
man. My barefoots.
If it's still worth it. If
My
you
barefoots.
would
He's
buy
got the
them
micro
again.
main.
My barefoots.
Yeah.
Oh yes, man.
Tell
yes,
everybody
man.
which barefoots, though.
The MM27
The big ones.
generation.
The big
Two.
ones. Yeah.
Yeah, man. I love those things, man.
Yeah.
Because for me, it's also my barefoots, but I don't have those barefoots.
No.
I have the footprint ones.
Yeah, I don't know, man, but I tried different speakers, but oh man, I'm in love with my.
I think it's
Barefoots.
speakers is for me it's my ATC SEM25s. I
Such
love
a personal
them.
thing. Yeah.
I just bought them a year ago.
Do you have a subwoofer for them?
No. I never want to use a subwoofer in subwoofer is just issue galore. I mean,
True. Yeah.
you just generate issues after issues after issues. So.
Yeah.
Also the mains here don't have a subwoofer.
No.
Mm.
Oh,
Wow.
It's just that. And they got a lot of sub.
wow.
Interesting.
Yeah. So yeah, speakers, I feel monitors is really
Personal.
That
Yeah.
is once you find that
Yeah.
monitor that does that for you,
Yeah.
that is amazing. Because they translate so well for me and I can really hear what I need to
Yeah.
hear.
Yeah.
And that is
I've heard them a bunch of times, and I always really like them.
yeah.
But I haven't mixed on them yet. Maybe I'll ask you to
Yeah.
ask you for a
Drop
demo.
by. Yeah.
I'm curious.
Yeah. You should definitely give them a try. It's they're really realistic.
Yeah.
I mean, you can really grab something in the stereo field and in the depth. Like
That's important. Yeah.
if your vocal is just slightly to the left, you can almost grab the vocal like here, the guitar there, and that is something that I never heard in another monitor before. So that I really, really
I
love.
see a lot of people in the States right now moving to the new PMCs.
The sixes, yeah.
Yeah.
I tried those.
Yeah.
They're good. Yeah.
Like good.
But they're PMC. So they're different than barefoot. It depends on what you need. And I love it. I love these PMC 226s. The PMC 6 is just a better version of this. Like all the things I don't really like on these, they fixed on the BMC6. And if you need a Dolby Atmos system, get the BMC6 because you can do everything on those. And they're really powerful in the bottom as well for that small cabinet. So I'm really excited. Do we have a last question?
Oh man.
From Tim.
Yeah.
You can't get the mix right or struggle with it. What is the next thing you guys do?
Trash. Throw it away. No.
Step away.
You really struggle with it. Yeah. Step
Take
away.
your dog for a walk.
Do something else. Yeah.
I remember we used to do this a lot in the we have a chat group. Every time we feel like someone is going through it, like you check on your colleagues and go, yo, you just put out all your frustration, and maybe they give you good advice or just tell you just go walk or something funny or whatever, and then you know.
Yo, I love our chat. I love our chat group.
Man, me too, man.
Just for the support, like, guys, I'm really just it's not working today. And then someone comes with a gem, like, try this, or
you need that.
You want to FaceTime and just check out what we're doing, and I love that.
Yeah, that support system
I love
is
that
so
community.
important, man.
Yeah, it is important. Yeah, absolutely. You can't do everything by yourself all the time. You need that outside. You know, that energy. And if you are struggling with something, step away, do something else, or start a different mix, like something completely different, or literally do something else, like go outside and just, you know.
Yeah, that really helps. Like, I tend to switch sessions as well. What you said, that also helps. You know, just hear different frequencies and different stuff,
and listen to references also.
Exactly,
just listen to music that's already out. And just get something
References
else
are super important.
Wow.
You gotta be honest with
with yourself.
With yourself, and sometimes also like you get these, in my opinion, and sometimes I get stuff like the comparison to what they want it to sound is way far away from what they send, you know, and that can frustrate you as well as an engineer, because you're trying so badly to copy or to match that certain sound, but it's not it. So maybe feedback with the producer or the other one, maybe a different reference or a different thing.
But I love getting a reference that is far out of reach. I love working with people that are just above what I feel I'm comfortable with.
I mean, far out of reach from the for example.
No, if it's the wrong reference, it's the wrong reference. But if it's the best reference for that
sound,
that sound, and that is
cool.
Ultimately where you want to go. I love that. I want my reference to be the highest possible, because only if you aim there you can end up here. If you aim here you can only end up
that's
there.
facts, man.
So give me a challenge. I love that. I think it's time to say goodbye. Wow. For a guy who thought he was going to be quiet, you talked a lot.
Oh, man.
Thanks.
I'm surprised by myself.
Thanks for being here, guys.
Thanks for the invite. This was great.
I wish we could go on for 2 hours more.
Me too, man.
We have to.
Yeah, we have to keep doing it.
We only scratched the surface.
Exactly. Well, let's do this more often.
Please, let's do that.
It was super fun.
Yes.
I'm here.